Hi, welcome back to this channel, Tea Time with Peace and Joy. I'm Doris. So last time we talked about how to help children to adapt to new environments. And today we are going to continue. So let me recap what we talked about last time. So we talked about three things last time. First is to help them to develop a growth mindset. And second is be super patient with them. And third, help them, right? So today we are going to through number 4 to 7. Number 4, give yourself space to process the stress that you're facing and talk about it with each other as a family, as a unit. That is really important because even 4 or 5-year-olds, you can talk about it. You can say, we are moving, so is there anything that you are worrying about? Oh yeah, mommy is worrying about packing up, but how about you? We can talk to them because we sometimes underestimate children, but they know more than we think they know, and they will be able to articulate it. And if they don't have the word, or if they don't have the ability to do so, if you help them, that will be really helpful as well. Because if you are giving the situation like a name or something, so it's more externalized and it's easier for them to deal with. And especially when you are processing the concerns with them, that will be really, really helpful. And for a lot of situations, there are actually books to help them to adapt to the change. So for example, if they are going to kindergarten tomorrow or a week later or 2 weeks later, you can start reading the book with them going to kindergarten, right? And there are books about divorce, people passing away, things like that. So a lot of times there are books that you can look into. And today's number 2 is to get enough rest for yourself. Sometimes it's hard because when you are facing the situation, a lot of times you have a lot to do. So like I am experiencing it right now. A lot of you know that I live in New York, but I will be moving to Florida soon. So yes, a lot of work. But if we don't get enough sleep, if we don't get enough rest here and there, it will be even harder because you can't think straight. And even when you are packing, you are not really having the ability, the energy, or you will be packing really slowly. You may as well just take a break and rest and come back, right? So the same thing when we face any type of changes, give yourself enough rest. Sometimes it's hard, you have to prioritize that, but that will totally help. Especially last time we talked about how we have to be really super patient with them. Imagine if you don't get enough sleep, it's really hard for you to stay patient, right? At least for me, that's the case. So it's really hard, but we make sure that we do, so we have the patience to talk with them and to think straight, and at least we can emotionally control ourselves. That will help the whole process. And today's number 3, talk to teachers or other parents if they are changing school, or talk to someone in that community if they are, if you are moving to a new community. That is because when you kind of like, as a parent, you know certain things about that place already, that will help the children to feel safer about that place. At least you can tell them something. Of course, like you can do online research as well, but if you have some friends there already, it will help. If, for example, if you know other parents, what they say about the school, talk to the teacher and see how they face different students or their attitudes. You can inform your child or your children, and that will help them. That is part of like prepping them actually, and it will be really helpful to them. And the next one is related, and that is to help them to set up their social network, because it's not easy when they don't have their social network. You may think, oh, you are just a child, you are just, children, and it's easier for you than us because you will make friends in no time. That may not be the case for a lot of children. Although they may make friends easily, but still they can be really nervous about it, and having a social network is really important as well. I made that mistake when at the beginning of the pandemic, I didn't really get the chance to talk to my daughter about it, and then so learn from my mistake and don't do that yourself. You can definitely like help them to have that network, because I talked to a psychologist at that time during the pandemic, and the cases of, for example, depression and anxiety went up almost like triple at that time, because a lot of children don't have their social network anymore, and especially for the younger ones. The older ones, they can still use their phones, right? And they can still do other things, or they can use their computer to get on the internet. For younger kids, a lot of times they may not have their own cell phone, and their parents may not let them go online that much at all, and they were isolated, and they used to spend like 6 hours with their friends, and all of a sudden they don't have that social network. And just like my daughter's case, it was so hard for her to adapt because it's such a different environment, and you don't have the socialization anymore, which she enjoyed a lot. And so help them to set up the social network. So how can you do that? That is, at the beginning, when they come home, just talk to them like, do you make friends? No, don't ask them every single day, like you're not trying to stress them out, but you can guide them along the way. If they have any difficulties, you can try to guide them a little bit, talk to them about the difficulties, and see if you can come up with a solution together, and then they will feel your support. So at the end, I would like to share a Bible verse with you. It's in Romans chapter 15, verse 5. It said, "May the God who gives endurance and encouragement give you the same attitude of mind toward each other that Christ Jesus had." So it may not be easy for us to have that heart of Jesus, to be patient, to be loving when we are stressed out. But with God's power, with our prayers, I think it will make it a little bit easier. So thank you for watching. If you like this video and find it helpful, like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you will get the notification when we upload our next video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.